Welcome to the Class is Permanent podcast. Today is Tuesday, May 5th, which means today is Cinco de Mayo. Very special episode here ahead of us. We have we have a weekend recap. Pucc'S is going to get into the 1986 World Cup, ironically, in Mexico, so that worked out nice. We will get into a preview. We have leg 2 of the Champions League semifinals. And yeah, should be a quick one. Let's do it. Away we go.
Class is permanent!
Alrighty, I am joined by a man who is overjoyed today. I think things have swung back in his favor a bit. Daniel Capucci.
Yeah, I'm fantastic, Ethan. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope the family's well. I hope your dog's doing great too.
Wow, thank you.
Beautiful dog.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm doing well overall, Mr. Pooch. Have some family over. You may hear him in the background. I record out of my bedroom. Yeah, in my studio in the first floor. So they're in the kitchen. Had a great weekend. 2 cousins essentially over with their baby Kai. He is the chubbiest baby, the happiest baby, and yeah, we're doing well. Mr. Owen
Makes you ready. Does it make you ready seeing the baby?
Funny enough, I actually had a conversation with them. For those that don't know, I'm in a very committed relationship. And I said, I was like, listen, at the end of the day, like, absolutely love babies. Definitely going to try and have a few as long as the Lord sees fit. Don't want the responsibility at the moment, though. Give me a couple of years. You know what I mean?
I was just wondering. It's just a question I was throwing out.
We can get vulnerable on the pod. Cinco de Mayo, so we can get vulnerable. Vulnerable. That's how you say that word correctly.
Vulnerable.
I think here's my view on children. And I think everyone has this view. I think, at least for me, once I have a child, I'm going to dedicate like every ounce of my being to it. And right now, I'm still a little too selfish. Like, I still want to play Xbox. I still want to do a podcast. I still want to travel, like, without that worry. Whereas if I had to have a child tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, easy. Like, yeah, I have to. But I think, like, if you're giving me a choice, which luckily right now we got one, we're taking the measures to make sure we have choices, right, Pooch? I don't know why that's funny.
It's not. You're right.
You're just, I hope you're using protection.
I'm going to be honest. I got a cramp when you were talking. I put my leg up and I got a cramp.
It's just always important to put in your shin pads. You know what I mean? You may not need to use them, but it's important to always use your shin pads, right?
And not the small ones either. You got to get the retro classic.
They need to fit. They need to fit.
That
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes
none of this woke bullshit. Small shin pads.
Yeah. Some of these guys are wearing shin pads that don't even really. They're not even in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's like you got to view it as like we're not playing pickup here, and maybe sometimes you are playing pickup.
Right.
And if you are playing pickup, like at that point, it might just be safer to put the shin pads in. You don't know the players.
Right.
You might just want to put the shin pads in.
When you're playing pickup with players, usually know. You know what I mean? So, like, that's why. And on top of it, if you ever, like, are in pickup and it's getting a little too rough, or, like, maybe you feel like you're going to pull up, you always just pull yourself out of the game, right? It's not worth an injury. Obviously, you're playing in a full game, like, you got to go balls to the wall, right? Usually playing a team maybe you're not familiar with or a really competitive team, you got to go balls to the wall. So, that's when you always throw in the shin pads. I'm going to be honest, I'd be even the guy that would put on the ankle guard as part of the shin pad at this point.
Yeah.
Just protect myself. Because, you want to make sure you preserve yourself for the season. But yeah, that was us talking fatherhood. Owen, how are you?
Good. Thanks.
Owen, are you ready for a child?
No, I'm not
Never.
at all.
Never. Okay.
I'm not going to say never. Life is long. Who knows what kind of path I'll be on in the future.
Okay.
But for the time being, them things are so annoying.
Interesting. You low-key, you kind of give me that vibe that you're anti-child.
Well, to say anti-child, kind of paints me as some kind of villain.
Only if you do.
I like to think I'm a hero at the end of the day. And I'm so heroic, in fact, that I don't want to, bring a child into this world if I can't devote my whole self to them.
Okay,
and that kind of relates back to what you were saying.
Right. But you're saying is like, I'm saying like, if I did bring a child into this world, I would devote my whole self like on that drop. You're saying that you might not.
I'm saying I'm not going to be in that situation.
You wear your shin pads.
I wear my shin pads. Yeah, I wear the Petr Cech helmet.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, fair enough.
You're going head first.
Well, when it calls for it.
Hey, fair enough.
Good
You know what I mean? Hey, Owen's playing a low block. You know what I mean? He may not score today, but let me tell you something. He is not being scored on. You know what I mean? Fair enough. Let's get into it. Yeah, I think we're gonna not too much news overall. Everything kind of relating to the games. Quick Cinco de Mayo segment. We talked about this pre-show. We're just gonna play Italian or Hispanic again because we can't think of a Cinco de Mayo segment. So I'm gonna start. Lamine Yamal.
I mean, Spanish.
Could be Italian.
No, he couldn't. He's too much flair to be Italian.
Okay, good save. Owen, do you have one? Just the putting up of the Italian or Hispanic subtitle. If you're watching the YouTube, just the way it comes up. Funny enough, that's me and Pooch, Italian and Hispanic, and then Owen.
Yeah, I got some Spanish in me.
Yep.
See, it's hard because my brain instantly just goes to the Argentine national team.
Exactly, which. For those that understand history, yes, that is kind of where all this started from. Give me, let me think. Actually,
how about this? How about this? One of you guys give me your Cinco de Mayo.
What is that?
Your Cinco de Mayo. Who's your Cinco de Mayo?
For the sake of not being canceled, I'm actually going to withdraw from this question. I don't know I don't know what you're asking me to say.
My Cinco de Mayo is the guy that got mogged by Matt Miazga like 10 years ago, where Miazga was like too small.
What was his name? Was that Lainez? Was that Diego Lainez?
Yes. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Diego Lainez?
He was too small to play. That's what happened. Miazga told him.
No, I mean, that was awesome. But did he ever like what is he doing? He's at Tigres right now.
Dutch league for a bit, right? Yeah.
Well, or is that Rich? Funny enough, you guys remember Richie Ledesma? He was he was a big dual national.
I know the name. I don't think I ever watched him play. But
he was a big dual national that was playing over in Belgium. And then when I was at NYCFC, he joined on loan. I was like, oh shit, like I recognize this name, and whatever. He was supposed to be like, it was a big deal when the US apparently got him. He ended up going picking Mexico because the US never called him up again, and I guess he had his transfer. But that guy has done nothing with his career either. Very Diego Lainez like, but I don't feel comfortable with this game. I feel like whatever I say is just going to take out of context.
I got another one.
Sure.
I got another one. Obed Vargas.
Oh.
Literally decided on Mexico over the U.S., even though he grew up in Alaska.
See? Wait, really?
Yeah.
There's no way he grew up in Alaska. You're bullshitting me.
He did.
No. Why are you making me look this up and wasting my time?
I mean, he played in Seattle.
Obed. Oh, my God, yeah. He is born in Anchorage.
Oh, I got it right? Oh, I did my research beforehand and got it right?
I thought you were bullshitting me.
Say sorry, Daddy. That was uncalled for.
I'm
sorry. That was uncalled for.
You have some weird kinks, man.
Yeah, that was
weird.
Uncalled for. My bad. Hey, the minute it came out of my mouth, that I was like, that was bad.
I mean, if I started flipping things, right? Like every time, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm done with this shit.
You're right. Hey, listen, hand up. That's on me. That's on me.
Does anybody have any news? Take off the Italian or Spain. I think I'm done with this game.
Well, we changed Cinco de Mayo, and I have another one, mixed Discaroo.
Dude, I had a mixed Discaroo jersey.
Why mix? Isn't he American?
Yeah.
But why is he a Cinco de Mayo?
I don't know. He stinks, and it's Cinco de Mayo. Okay.
Pooch, why don't you get into your World Cup review? 1986. It's probably more on par for
Thanks, Ethan.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking 1986, which is a fun World Cup. It's a fun one. Get ready, boys. I expect a lot of questions. Everybody's been asking me, how come Ethan and Owen don't ask more questions? And I say, I don't know. I think they're just bored of this segment already.
Don't even accuse me of that. I'm fully paying attention. Owen, I just hit Owen because he could take notes.
1986 was originally actually given to Colombia in the World Cup because of an earthquake and then guerrilla insurgents. The FIFA president, Havelange, saw an opportunity to make money and put it in a slush fund, extra funds, and basically said, yeah, Colombia, you guys don't have it anymore. I'm going to open it back up. So the final candidates for this World Cup were Brazil, Canada, U.S., and Mexico. Now,
Mm,
we all know it ends up going to Mexico.
fair enough.
Funny enough, Mexico was actually 80 billion in debt. So Havelange was actually like, you guys probably shouldn't bid for this World Cup because you guys don't have the money. And they
Right.
were still like, no, we're going to do it. So they do. During the FIFA, like, I guess, like, assembly, all of the, like, nations got up, they gave a speech or whatever. Mexico's was literally like a 15-minute speech being like, let's do it, give it to us. And then Henry Kissinger, the typical, I think he was big. Yeah, he pops up.
He's been
Pops up.
coming up, but not just in this. He came up in my real life the other day. My mom has a friend. Again, we have some family. The family that's staying is my mom's best friend's daughter and her husband. So like
Mhm.
cousins. And then my mom's other best friend decided to come visit us while they were here with their baby. And she flies private jets, or she's a stewardess on these. First off, she flies all the WWE guys, Pat McAfee, all of them are on her jet. But then she's like, Henry Kissinger? I was like, the name sounds familiar. I feel like he's like a bad guy. And she's like, well, it depends where you stand politically.
Yeah.
But okay, go on.
Literally. So he gave the US a speech. So like I said, Mexico's was 15 minutes. His approached 2 hours. And in the middle of his speech, there was cheering going on out in the crowd. They basically told Mexico, like, yeah, you got it. Like, this is your World Cup in the middle of the guy's speech. And he said he felt so embarrassed. Quote, it made me nostalgic for the Middle East, was his quote.
Fairs. Hey,
Fair.
the
Hey,
people
listen,
yearn
fair.
for the Middle East.
Yeah, the people yearn for the
The
Middle
people
East.
yearn for Iraq.
So, I mean, just I had to write that quote down because I was like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like, all you were doing was presenting for a World Cup and you said that. But so the US did need this World Cup because I don't know if you remember, like, heard stories about the NASL, the North American Soccer League. That basically had failed like a year before, and they needed something to reignite the nation in
Sure.
soccer. So that's why they were kind of going hard for this. This World Cup was actually the first ever World Cup where there was a knockout tournament style after the group stage. So we're getting into more modern times. Going into a few of the teams here.
Wait, go back. So after the group stage, what was it in the
They
past?
did. Remember, I said it was another group state, like it was another grouped event where then the two top of the group go to the finals, or like the four go to the semifinals.
Let me tell you something.
Then play.
Why did
They made it so much more difficult?
Why did they ever think that was a good idea? Like, sometimes you look at this and it's like, did this make sense? Like, whatever.
It literally was like 16 teams, the top two for each one go through. So now there's 8. And then they were like, we could just do one knockout or just have all of the teams play each other. And then the top 2 move on to the semifinal. Yeah. It's a much easier format, and it's now modern day. Like, it's what we use today. So, getting into a few of the teams here. So first off, Denmark. So a week before Denmark's World Cup qualifier was actually the Heysel disaster. So there's like a famous quote where it was like, Denmark ends up beating the USSR 4-2 to get into the World Cup for the first time ever. And the famous quote that goes around is basically, football died a week ago and it just rose out of the grave today because it was such a fantastic game. Denmark did an acclimatization trip.
Nice. Good word.
To our favorite spot, Bogota, Colombia.
Never been.
In Bogota, yeah, they had a little run-in where the hotel that they were staying at, the manager told them that they were primed for kidnapping. First thing he said to them when they got there, they were like, "Hey, nice to meet you guys. You guys the Denmark national team? Yeah, you guys are like targets for kidnapping." Not only that, but when they were in the hotel, like the week that they were there, there's just a car accident that happened outside, dead body in the car. Police didn't come for a few hours to clean it up or anything. So they just were like, yeah, we'd walk out of the hotel and there's just a dead body in a car right in front of the hotel. Wild. Uruguay, their manager actually termed the coin Group of Death at this tournament. So the Group of Death was trademarked here. Do you want to guess the 4 teams in that Group of Death, Ethan?
Sure. Trying to think based on what you've already told me so far. 1986. Give me Argentina.
Nope.
Give me the Netherlands.
Nope.
Give me Germany.
Which one?
West.
Yep.
Okay, so it's West Germany in there. Maybe Italy.
Nope.
These are the 80s. Spain was okay. Maybe Spain was in there.
Nope.
Brazil.
No, I'll just give it to you.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't think you're gonna get it.
you're wasting my-
So it was West Germany, Uruguay, Denmark,
oh,
and
okay.
Scotland.
What's funny is I almost said both of them, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure you kind of just okay, yeah.
Yeah. Scotland's manager at this World Cup was Sir Alex Ferguson. Because the previous manager about a week before, I believe, had a heart attack on the side of the field. So they were like, Alex, can you please help? And he was like, sure. Spain beat Denmark in the round of 16. And then Belgium beat them in the quarterfinals. But that was the only Spain remark of this World Cup. Basically, it also said something where, like, between the years of 1964 and 2008, Spain had won 4 knockout games in like major tournaments, so Euros and World Cup. 2 of those 4 came against Denmark in the 84 Euros and then this World Cup. So basically, Spain just beat up on Denmark in the knockouts.
Fuck them.
Yeah. I mean, Spain hates Denmarkians. Or
we hate them Danes.
Danes, thank you. Brazil.
Ooh, Danish friends.
That's a great line. Brazil was shambolic.
Okay.
In terms of their training. So Socrates he's the leader. Last World Cup, there's political stuff going on that he doesn't agree with, yada, 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 all that bullshit. He was also going through it personally. He became an alcoholic. He was going through a divorce. And he was like the face of Brazil. So not a good look there. Zico was hurt, but he still was playing, but not the same Zico. They end up, though, going all the way to the quarterfinals, even though their leader is an alcoholic and their number 2 guy's coming off the bench with a messed up knee. They still make it to the quarterfinals. They actually lose to France in the quarters in a PK shootout where the French player's penalty kick hit the post, then hit the goalie, and then went in, which should not have counted. Like in PKs, if it hits the goalie and goes in, it doesn't count as a goal in PKs.
Wait. If it hits the goalie,
Ethan, I had to reread this paragraph about 4 times. People on the train must have thought I was an idiot because I was using my finger too to follow along and make sure I was reading it correctly.
Say it again. So if it hits the goalie.
No, because it hit the post first and then hit the goalie and then went in. The rule may have changed since then. Yeah. But at this time, it was like if it hits the post and then it bounces off the goalie and goes in, it doesn't count. But it counted in this game.
That's a good question, and I'm going to let you keep rocking here. That's something I've always wondered. If I take a penalty, at what point is it actually considered dead?
Yeah, I know. I think that's part of the reasoning why it's like it hit the post. Like, you have to think about if it hits the post, hits the referee, and goes in, does that count? Probably not.
Yeah. All right. You keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to look this up.
You research.
Yes.
New Argentinian manager. So they brought in a former player. He was a mentality monster. He was actually a registered gynecologist in Argentina at the time when they hired him. When he played for like the sport, he used to bring pins onto the field to stab his opponents.
Yeah,
little like bobby pins he would just bring on the field, and as he's running by you, just like poke you in the arm with it, like stab you with it.
That pissed me the fuck off. Go on.
Mentality monster. That
would piss me the fuck off.
So remember how I said 82 was Maradona's coming out party? Well, he got a red in that 82 World Cup and then just didn't play for Argentina for the next 3 years. So during this 3-year hiatus from the national team, it's not like the Argentinians didn't want him to play. It's just he had other stuff going on. So during this time, he left for Barcelona. When he was in Barcelona, he got very homesick. He was very much like, I kind of want to go back. I'm away from all my family. He may have also potentially gotten hepatitis in Barcelona. He may have developed a raging cocaine addiction. and also maybe happened to kick a player unconscious after losing the Copa del Rey final. And
Right.
he also moved to Napoli during
Okay.
this time. So he was going through some personal stuff in Barcelona. That's why he basically didn't come back to the Argentinian team, but he did for this World Cup. Argentina had actually moved to a new formation, 3-5-2. This was mainly due to their lack of fullbacks, and it actually helped them. For finals was Argentina versus England, and it saw a Maradona brace with the hand of God.
Yep.
And then a crazy run. He said that kind of what invigorated them, even though they did say it before the game, was the Falkland War. So going back to 82, where the Falkland War was happening, all of that stuff. And then Germany had Franz Beckenbauer become their head coach at this World Cup. The team, though, was still super ill-disciplined to the point Beckenbauer offered to quit mid-game. This team was so bad. They made it they fell behind in every single group game, ended up winning them, but literally did not lead at all. They beat Morocco in the 88th minute in the round of 16.
Nice.
Took Mexico to PKs in the quarterfinal, and then just beat up on France 2-0 in the semis. The final was a bit boring. Argentina won 3-2 over West Germany. Saw Maradona score the winning goal, but the teams traded goals before that. Final was 3-2. I ranked this World Cup 4th.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think a lot of people talk about 1986 and like the soccer ball, I think it was called the Tango, right? It's the white and black Adidas. Like it was an iconic ball. Okay.
I think it was like the 71 still is the top one for me because it's like a lot of turnover.
Carpet bombing.
Yep, carpet bombing, color TV, all of that stuff. 82, which we went over, was just a good World Cup. 54 had the Hungarians complain. It was like the last vestige of that Hungarian empire in soccer. So it falls right underneath that, and then right before Brazil changing their colors because they lost at the Maracanã, like the newly built Maracanã in 1950. So it's that right now 86 is the line between great World Cup and good World Cup.
Okay.
If I view something as better than 86, I'm like, that's a great World Cup. If it's below 86, it's like good. Like it's a good World Cup. It's kind of like that like that marker.
Want to say first off, the Tango was actually the 1978 World Cup in Argentina. The Mexico World Cup used one called the Azteca, which it looks very, very similar. So not a big deal, but just wanted to correct myself. Hand up. I'm not going to ask anybody to call me daddy. Good stuff there, Pooch. We're getting into modern times.
Yes.
Let's jump into. Oh, by the way, I looked it up. For a penalty kick to be considered dead, the ball either A, has to stop moving. So if you kick it, it hits the goalie and it keeps rolling and rolls into the goal, it's a goal. B, obviously, if it's a goal, it's done. C, if it leaves the field of play. Or D, not 4, which is also alphaneumatically number 4. Wow, I dug somewhere deep for that.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't think I've ever heard that word before.
I don't know if that word's right.
Numerically.
Alphanumeric. First off, I'd like to apologize. Hand up. That's on me. Secondly, I didn't even. I could have just kept it rocking, but I decided to go back.
Yeah, you should have. Honestly, you should have just kept it rocking.
Well, D4. If a player infringement, goalie comes off the line, player comes into the box early, something like that. But good stuff there from Pooch. Next episode will be the 1990 World Cup. This will be a good one.
Just a preview for people if you actually care about this segment, Justin Sosa, I know you do. 1990 was about 35 pages. Every other one was about 25 to 30. So this one should be good. The 91 should be good.
We should let you make this one a separate YouTube video.
I was already going to do that Friday, brother. That's why I mentioned it. I'm going
to
clip everything and put them into long form videos on YouTube.
There you go. Look at that. You guys are now in our marketing meeting. Let's jump into a weekend recap. First things first, we'll go into the Premier League. Arsenal beat Fulham 3-0.
Ethan, I climaxed. Ethan, I
Yo,
Ethan, I was watching that game. I was climaxing, brother.
This dude just gooned on the channel. Holy fuck. All right, go on.
I was climaxing. Oh my God. The way we moved the ball around. Oh, the way we defended. Oh, the way we were past the intricate passes around the box. Oh, the finishing. Oh, Ethan, it was a 90-minute goon sesh for me. I was like, where has this team been all year?
This dude's got stamina.
It was nuts. I loved every second of it. We saw a Max Dowman appearance too. It's like Sasquatch every single time he comes on. You're like, is he really 16? Is he not? Yada yada yada. I thought this to me gave me confidence for the rest of the season with the Prem because we look on a mission. All we needed was a little City slip up, and I am confident enough that we can move on and move forward every single game. The boys look like they're buzzing, that they have confidence, that that the training wheels are off per se. I always felt like maybe in the middle of the year, I felt like it was more of an Arteta not taking the training wheels off and doing more like, hey, we got to be defensive. Hey, we got to be defensive. I think the last month and a half, 2 months before the last game or two, it felt very much like the players not kind of wanting to do that, where it was very much like, I think it was very much the players aren't willing to take guys on. They're willing to then go, oh, I see a guy next to me who's open. Let me pass sideways or let me pass back. Not so much Arteta being like, I need you guys to do this. So this game where guys are just being direct and attacking their players and just moving forward and really pushing the ball was amazing. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was one of my favorite Arsenal games to watch in a really long time.
All right. Well done. We'll just jump into it then. Manchester City draw Everton 3-3 today. So did not get a chance to watch this game myself, but looking at the league table for those that are curious, Arsenal are on currently 35 games played, 76 points. City, 34 games played, 71 points. So if say City wins their next one just to bring us level, at least games played wise, you would be at 74, 76. So at this point is in Arsenal's hands, right? Arsenal could see their, right, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at the fixture list, and I think it is fully in Arsenal's hands. City have Brentford, Palace. This is just Premier League, by the way. Brentford, Palace, Bournemouth, Villa. Arsenal, on the other hand, I just had it. I think
West Ham, Burnley, and Palace.
Yes, exactly. It's coming down to a Pooch. You got to be feeling pretty good.
You want to know what I'm feeling right now?
What are you feeling right now, Poochie?
Everton. Everton. Everton.
Keep singing the words. Keep singing the words. You know them.
It's like a karaoke version. So all I know is Everton. I feel like I've been calling this one for weeks. I mean, we talk enough to know. I kept saying that Everton away fixture, all we need is a draw. All we need is a draw. City looked dominant that first half. They were fully in control of the game. I think Tim Howard on the halftime literally was like, they're playing like Arsenal right now, where they're playing with they're like passing it around the 18, but never taking a shot. That's how they were playing. And then Doku had an amazing goal. Hats off to him. But they kept Everton in that game. They could have easily made it 2-0, 3-0 game in the first half, but it was 1-0 entering halftime. And all Everton needed was Mark Gahey to be an idiot and do one of the worst back passes I've ever seen. People are saying, and this isn't me, but people are saying that that's up there with the Steven Gerrard slip if they don't win the league title. Like,
wow.
That's
I didn't
even
see it yet. Let me take a quick look. This just got posted by NBC Sports.
Because Barry was offsides, but he never went for the ball.
He knew it right away.
Yeah.
He knew it. It doesn't matter if he's offsides. If the ball is played.
No, I know. But originally they called it offsides, but obviously the play kept going. But then they didn't even VAR review it. The AR was like, I thought that he was going to make that. Like, I did not think that he was going to fuck up that bad. That's a goal. So like they gave it a goal. But Everton then went up 3-1. And then Holland immediately scored, made it 3-2. And then finished 3-3. Doku with another great goal to kind of actually probably save their season.
Yeah, I mean, a loss would have been done. A loss,
A
like
loss,
it
you're
would,
done.
yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
done. I mean, they're still like this was pretty much. Obviously, it was always a tricky fixture, but like, yeah, if you wanted a shot to they pretty much
Yeah.
had to win out.
And that bastard that brings a bottle and does all the Arsenal tears everywhere, they caught him in 4K at this game, sitting there, hands in his head, and you could see the outline of the bottle in his pocket. He brings that
You sure that
everywhere,
wasn't
Ethan.
his? Maybe the man's got some serious schmeat on him, Pooch.
Up his side.
You never know where you got to tie it down. Don't knock a player.
That's fair. No, I hate that guy because it's like you're a grown man bringing a water bottle to do a little bit like every single game. Like
you would
you're
do
a
shit like that
bitch.
though. You would totally do that. You're so
wouldn't.
gimmicky.
I would not. To bring one game, sure, yeah, but to then do it every single game in a run-in, like there's videos of him on the concourse going like that with the bottle, like tears.
And clip Pooch doing that.
Yeah, I know. The minute I did that, I knew it was going to happen. But yeah, so I'm extremely excited. Thank God for Everton. David Moyes, I've always loved you. Yeah, I think we just gotta do our job now. Just finish the job.
Listen, man, everyone's supposed to like love Everton. They're the people's club. They just fuck everything up. It's like Everton needs to win this game to get Europe. It's like they fuck it up. It's like Everton, like everyone wants you to lose this game. They draw. You know what I mean? Like the one time everyone actually wants Everton to lose, they lose. Or I guess, sorry, they actually put a performance in. Good for them. And I know, for instance, our buddy Lidar is actual Everton fan, and he was saying for Everton it's actually a big game because they are trying to get Europe.
Yeah.
So like they were up for it. Let's move on though. I'm not. You know what? I'm borderline happy for you, Pooch, because you had a little bit more hope. Which would suck though is if you guys bottle.
No, I know that would suck. That would really
be
suck.
Pretty bad.
That
would be
you
want to
know what? At that point, I would be like, I'll take all of the heat that comes my way.
Wow.
You're gonna get the pressed Pooch again, but like
a double bottle job is bad.
Yeah, I know it's horrendous. Are you kidding me?
What would be a worse bottle? The 8-month bottle like that you did when City beat you guys, or
no, the double
getting
bottle,
the title,
the double bottle, the double bottle.
It's like a double doink. Okay.
The double bottle is horrendous. 8 months bottle, you could point to stuff during that 8 months being like, well, we didn't have X, Y, and Z player. We didn't win this game. Like we drew this game. Like you have so many like outs to be like, it's not our fault. City just won 27 of 30. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the double bottle this late in the season, like that is
you get a gift
part.
like you can't. Yeah, understandable. Let's move on. Another big game this weekend was United beating Liverpool 3-2. I actually watched this game start to finish. Liverpool looked so lost in the first half. And it's funny is because as I was watching, this is really one of the first times I've been able to sit and watch like a full Michael Carrick game. And as much as I've propped him, I'm like, let me like try and just understand what he's doing. They're just playing really simple. Like I keep saying, like it was, I think they were in a 4-2-3-1. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But like there was nothing crazy. Like it just seemed like very simple footy and it looked like Liverpool like couldn't figure it out. Then second half starts, Liverpool right off the bat ended up scoring too quickly. Liverpool looked like they got a little bit of juice. Szoboszlai, by the way, unreal baller.
Unreal footballer.
Yeah, he's really, really good. Again, first time I really got to watch him like in a while, I would say, kind of boss it. He's running the whole game. Like the entire game, he is completely running. He's picking up the ball at his own box, and then like he's also taking the shots on the other end. So good for him. Bruno had an assist this game, but I'm gonna be honest, if this is the player that all the United fans are propping up, it's like Szoboszlai was my man of the match.
What an assist hey, everybody clap it up for Bruno with that assist, man. Crazy assist. Oh, no, not the corner. The one where he chipped the ball in the box and the goalkeeper hit it and it went off of Seska Fender into the net. Great assist. I can't believe they count that as an assist for Bruno. Man, they're going to be showing that one in 20 years on that highlight reel for most assists in a Prem season. That one's the first one up. Also, I hate Bruno Fernandes. He legitimately every single thing he complains about.
Yes, he complains about everything. That's something I noticed too. Not just calls to his own teammates. He's complaining. Like a ball gets played in like a decent spot, but he couldn't get to, and he's turning. You see him yelling. I'm like, do you just like oh my God, he's like the worst
Like
guy
a
to play with on a
like
team.
at one point he ran into the referee. Like the referee's just standing in the middle of the pitch. He runs into him. He starts going off at the referee. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you ran into the ref. Like, what's the ref supposed to do? Like, he's trying to referee the game.
Yes.
Like the ball's 15 yards away, 20 yards away. It's not like
Yep.
he's next to you. Yeah, no, I think honestly he would be much more likable if he didn't complain and whine all the time.
I agree.
Because he is such a talented footballer that you're like, I wish I could enjoy his greatness more, but the complaining and the whining gets to me too much. When you have 80 passes in a game and 75 hands in the airs, like it's tough to be on your side, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. That was the one thing I noticed. Like every time someone passed him the ball or like whatever, I remember one time specifically. I think it was in the first half. Someone like tried to hit him. He was by the corner flag. Tried to hit him on like a little bit of like a chipped cross, and just overplayed him. And he turned. He started like yelling at them, and I'm like I get it. It's like, oh, play me a better ball, but it's also like they're playing you the ball. Like I don't know what you're saying. Let me tell you, the final goal as it's bouncing around the box, and I see Kobe Mainu come running in. I just saw the TikTok edit. Let it all work out. I saw Versus the account on Instagram just typing a caption furiously at that moment. You knew it was going in. There was no way it wasn't. You knew it was going in. Good for him. The fact that he almost got sold is ridiculous. Like that's the worst thing about having a bad manager, because it wasn't just Ruben. I think it was also Eric Ten Hag who didn't like him.
Ten Hag loved him. Ten Hag was the one that brought him in.
Okay, so Ten Hag. Okay, never mind. But the fact, like, listen, man, if you're Kobe, you just had to survive. You just had to survive Ruben. That's it. You just had to outlast him, and you did. So good for him.
#surviving Ruben.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's funny too, because I'll jump right into the Spurs game from here. Spurs beat Villa 2-0. Huge performance. Again, I feel like we kind of spoke about this. I was like, I'm not sure, but this did feel so Spursy in the sense like we have no fit strikers or like no fit attackers. We really like this is supposed to be a better Aston Villa team. And it was probably our best result, maybe our best performance in 8 months. Like we looked, Atletico Madrid wasn't bad. The second leg, I mean, but this was a good performance. Shout out Jev, friend of the pod. He literally in the group chat was like, I hope Gallagher gets a goal. Or he said, I think Gallagher is going to get a goal today. We need it from him. Here's what I'll say. All Spurs fans don't like Gallagher because we signed him for $40 million this winter. And everyone's like, why the hell did you sign him? I did feel bad about like the hate because it's like, it's not his fault. Like he signed for the club. Like, what do you want him to do?
Yeah.
Like he's trying his best. So good for him to get a big goal. Richarlison with a big goal. Richarlison's better than Big Dom Solanke. I don't care. He runs his tail off. He puts in performances. You do not want him to start for you. But let me tell you something. The guy cares. Big Dom is going to pull his hamstring every 2 games. But going back to why I was transitioning into this game, Thomas Frank had similar set of players. My God, he made us look pedestrian. De Zerbi, and again, like, we don't look perfect yet, but De Zerbi, like, just, you can see that we're actually playing footy again. And, like, he's been there 2 weeks. That's it. Maybe a little longer. He's got us actually like playing out of the back. He's got us like not just hoofing the ball and chasing. He's got us actually like playing some like progressive and I don't want to say attacking, but like actually holding on to the ball. It's incredible to watch. Thomas Frank deserves prison, and Ruben Amorim deserves prison because Michael Carrick has done the same thing that De Zerbi's done, is just come in and just been like, oh, we're just going to play footy, and like now they're playing well, and you're like, wow, same group of players.
Yeah, I think it with Tottenham in particular, it was just a confidence thing where it's like Thomas Frank and what's his name?
Tudor.
The other guy, Tudor, when they're in there, it's like there's so much pressure and like stuff like that where it's like De Zerbi now, he's like probably telling the guys, he's like, dude, it's just the game you guys have played since you were 8 years old, man. Like, just go out and play it. Who cares? I don't need you to be inverting as a fullback or like my 6 to be at the 10 position when we're in possession and doing a half turn Cruyff. Like, I don't need all. Just go play football. Play what comes freely to you. Play within these parameters, these like 3 or 4 parameters of like, get back to defend. Like when we go forward as a group, like the basic things. Like
I think,
but like,
I think on top
he's
of it,
taking Koulibaly out to lunch every day.
Yeah, well, the thing, or at least the things I keep seeing like kind of echoed, is number one is when Tudor came in, everyone knew he wasn't there for the long run. So I think the players were just kind of like, whatever, right? Like, I'm not buying into you. Like,
Yeah.
Mickey Van de Ven is looking at him like, well, you're not going to be my manager next year. I don't care. I'm not buying into you. This team, like, we're going to get relegated. I'm leaving. De Zerbi's comes in and supposedly, like, now that he's here on this, obviously he's signed a 5-year contract no matter what. I think a lot of guys have been like, oh, like, you really care. Like, you are here. Like, you're here for more than just, oh, can you keep us up? It's like, no, I want to keep us up and like actually install something, tactics wise. And as much as I agree with you in regard to playing simple, I think Thomas Frank almost oversimplified the game and was so scared, because with Brentford, they probably always play on such like the back foot in the sense of you're going up against big teams. We need to play a certain way, that he kind of brought that to Spurs. But Spurs and those players are like, what are you talking about? We just got a manager who told us we'll win any game. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to go and fight to the death and like play like the most attacking football. And you're coming in and you're like probably telling you like, when in doubt, just clear it. Shit like that. And then De Zerbi comes in. And I remember there was one instance, I think in the second half, I can't remember perfectly, where in my head, I'm like, hoof it. And Porro like chips a defender and like we play out of the back. And I'm like, under Frank, that never would have happened. Under Tudor, that never would have happened. And it's probably because the players, they're just like, you know what, like, we're told to play with the ball. You know, we're told to like feel free to. And of course, being up 2-0, not to mention Villa did not look good. Like, this is not necessarily like Spurs.
Horrendous.
Yeah,
Man.
this isn't so much.
They're going through the motions.
100%. It was a great time for us to play them. But yeah, it was one of those things where it was like we didn't play incredible, but I actually saw us like, I was like, oh, like there is an idea here. There is a bit of like, oh, we're gonna play out of the back. There is a bit of confidence to play out of the back too. Like, it's not just, sometimes when you see teams that play out of the back, it just means their goalkeeper passes it to the center back and then they pass it to a midfield. Like, they literally make like 4 passes to get up the field. But we were like in areas where I'd be like, oh, hoof it. And like they're looking to play short and try and combine, which is, again, that is the pinnacle of De Zerbi ball. So if he keeps us up next year, supposedly like Mickey Van de Ven has really come to like him. He's like, I'd say most people say De Zerbi is, I don't know if I'd say world class, but he's kind of in that echelon where people really respect him. I think Romero leaves regardless, but I think there's a lot of players in the locker room who maybe with another manager, right? Even if we weren't relegated, are like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Now Mickey Van de Ven's probably looking around. He's like, you know what? Like, this is a proper manager. Even Postecoglou, I think he won over the locker room, but I don't think he had the pedigree to like, if shit was going bad, I think people were like, oh my God, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. De Zerbi, it's like, this guy's kind of gone everywhere and done well. It's going to be fine if we play his tactics. So very reassuring to see.
I told you guys would stay up.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's one of those things that's like, as a Spurs fan, I think a lot of Spurs fans would say at any point, like deep in their gut, they're like, we're going to stay up. But it was like I'm not going to say it. Because if I say it and then we go down, I'm going to like be heartbroken, right?
Now, question for you. Arsenal play West Ham next week. Who are you cheering for?
That's a hell of a question. I didn't even think about that. Here's why I'm cheering for West Ham. Am I cheering for West Ham? Here's why I'm cheering for West Ham. Because I think we stay up regardless. I think we get another win, and I think that win's just going to cancel out. Well, and here's the bigger issue. The next game that we're going to talk about was today. It was actually a 10 a.m. game today. We're talking about Monday, May 4th. Chelsea lose to Forest 3-1. Was there a holiday in England? Why are they playing a game at 10 a.m.?
Bank holiday. Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. My God, Chelsea. McFarlane out.
Did you watch this one?
Parts of it, but I was like, all right, I'm turning this off. This is boring.
So I turned this on maybe like 30 minutes into the game, and it was 2-0 Forest.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell happened? Within 3 minutes of me turning it on, guys getting stretchered off for concussion and other guys getting taken out for a concussion.
Yep.
And then in the second half, Morgan Gibbs-White and Robert Sanchez both get taken out for concussions.
Yep.
It was like an NFL game out there.
Did
like
you see?
Everybody's just getting a concussion.
Wait, did you see Gibbs-White his face?
No.
He has stitches and a scar, like literally, like in a it just got posted on Twitter, like staples in his face, like down his nose. If you're watching the YouTube, you'll see, but it's like almost like a little S, like through his forehead, down his nose, and off to the other side. Bad. People are like, that's like a permanent. Let me see if I could share it. He literally just tweeted it. I mean, at least I just saw it. Let's see if I could get it up. Oh my god, yeah.
I see it. Don't post it on here, but like
It's pretty bad.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Pretty bad,
Yeah.
and like, and it's not stitches. That looks like staples. I mean, I'm no medical professional, but that looks like pretty severe. And then so, that's bad. I mean,
Did he get punched in the face? Like I saw it live and I was like, oh, that just looks like it was like, I was like, ooh, but it like looked like a coming together.
I didn't see this part. This is kind of when I was off in the second half. So what happened? He caught like an elbow or something.
They went head to head, him and Robert Sanchez.
For the longest time.
Like, those two went head to head. So Sanchez, I don't think Gibbs White saw Sanchez coming out to clear the ball. So he was going full force, being like, I think I can get this ball. Like, I think I can get it. And then Sanchez just comes through and basically Superman punches it. And like both of them just go down and you could hear at the stadium just all let out like ooh. And then in the first half, there were two guys that like one guy had to get stretchered off, I'm pretty sure, both with concussions.
There was Derry, Jesse Derry. I've never heard of this guy. He played for Chelsea. He only played 44 minutes. He picked up an injury. It must have been him.
Yep.
Or was it
him.
Zach Abbott from Nottingham?
No. Zach Abbott just went out with a concussion. It was those two coming together. But this kid, Jesse Derry, it was like his first ever Chelsea start at 18. And he had to get stretchered off. Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
Palmer missing a penalty. Yikes.
Yeah. Well,
he's homesick.
To be fair, he is homesick. To be fair, it was like immediate because the guy Derry, like that's how they got the penalty. It was like a foul on him. And then it's like a 10-minute, 8-minute, like,
my God,
he's on the ground. They're trying to stretch him off. They finally do, and it's like, all right, Palmer, go up, take this pen. And you just knew like he's missing it at that point. Like the whole stadium's silent. Nobody's pumped up for it. And it's like,
it's very reminiscent of Senegal Morocco, where it's like a 10-minute break, and then you have to go and focus on a penalty. I've always thought like if I'm a penalty taker, first off, I feel like I don't know, and this is me also. Like sometimes I'm just like a little naive. I feel like people are like so anxious to take a penalty, and usually I would not tell you this, but Cristiano Ronaldo had like the best advice. I think it was in the Euros or something, where he was like, "It's just a penalty. Just shoot. Just take it. Like it is what it is. If you miss, you miss. Who cares?" I'd have the same mentality.
Like it's like a free throw in basketball.
That's it. And like, yes, there's a little bit of pressure, and I get it. Like especially in the 90th minute, of course, things get heightened. But I'm also just like, I'm just going to put the ball down, aim for a lower corner. And if I miss, I miss. And if I hit it, I hit it. I don't know. Like, I feel like it gets overthought, but it is what it is.
Chelsea, bad spot, though. What are they? I think I saw something that they lost 6 in a row for the first time since like the 80s or something like that.
What's crazy is I saw something. If Spurs win out, they can be like 1 point off Chelsea to end the year. Chelsea are on 48 points. Chelsea might be in a relegation battle. We have not considered that.
Chelsea, I think I saw something that Chelsea, since the game, like if we're counting Arsenal, when they played Arsenal as the first game, they've only picked up 1 win since then.
My God.
Like they legitimately just are like have been dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, if you look at even Nottingham Forest are 2 wins behind Chelsea on the year. And the 2 wins that Nottingham Forest have are that Chelsea have more than them, are just 2 losses for Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest only have 9 ties. So, I mean, whatever. That could be anything. But it is kind of funny. I mean, Newcastle right now, just looking at them, Newcastle are on 45 points. Nottingham are on 42. Again, they're obviously not in a relegation battle. Chelsea are, though. Chelsea could be relegated. But Nottingham,
Chelsea could mathematically.
Also, funny enough, Palace was in a spot where they were competing for Europe at some point, and now Palace are in 15th, 43 points. I don't think they're...
Palace, I think, are just doing the Tottenham and Man U thing from last year, where they're like, forget the league. Well, let's just go get into Europa League.
Palace also have 1 less game played. They only have 34. But
that game's against City. They're going to lose to City, man.
Yeah, they're going to lose to Everton. They're going to lose to City. Wait, why is this Brentford game? Oh no, they have Brentford and Arsenal. So they may go over 4.
They may, yeah.
That would be nuts if they, I mean, again, I'm not going to say they're going to get relegated, but it's funny because we're only 1 point ahead of West Ham, but at the same time, like just seeing us in 17th instead of 18th feels so good. So much better. It's good to see our form as a draw win-win. And I kind of felt like, don't get me wrong, West Ham have been in great form, but their form has also been a 2-2 draw against Leeds, a 4-0 win against Wolves, a 0-0 draw against Palace, a 2-1 win against Everton. You know,
No,
it's like one of those things. It's like,
That's why I brought up the question to you earlier about West Ham and Arsenal, because if Arsenal do win, like and you guys beat Chelsea, because Chelsea's been just on a horrendous run of form. Like you guys now are on 40 and they're on 36 with 3 games left. Like you feel like that's in the bag at that point.
You just
like,
have to get a
you
result
guys are
on the
on a
final
2-game win streak. Like, yeah.
I'm going to be honest, the way Chelsea's playing, and I don't know, I'm not going to start calling predictions because like Chelsea or Spurs boogeyman, like doesn't matter how good we're playing. Chelsea always like seem to get one up on us. That's a big reason why I hate Chelsea. It would feel very good because Chelsea fans were texting us about, and maybe when I say us, about just Spurs fans, we're texting us saying, you know, you guys could get relegated at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea mathematically at some point. So it would be nice if maybe we drew, you know, we got 1 point closer to them at least that day. But yeah,
maybe you guys will pull the Uno reverse and mathematically eliminate them at Stamford Bridge, relegate them.
That'd be imagine we relegate Chelsea
at Stamford Bridge.
My God, that'd be awesome. I would be willing if you told me that Arsenal wins the league this year, but we relegate Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. I'd be so sick. And it's at the hands of Conor Gallagher. Ooh, that's an e-fiction. All right, let's move on to La Liga.
Rated E for everyone.
Valencia lose to Atleti 2-0. I have nothing to share on that game. I didn't watch it. Osasuna lose to Barca 2-1. It was really 2-0, but Osasuna scored, like, I think there was 8 minutes of extra time. They scored in the 97th with 50 seconds left. But because of the results this weekend, with Real Madrid beating Espanyol, Barca can now win the title this weekend against Real Madrid. All they need is at least a draw. Real Madrid have to win the game to stay in it. And with that being said, Ferland Mendy is out for the season. I saw Fab tweet this, and part of me was a little bit like, fuck you, because a lot of teams suffer injuries. Real Madrid have suffered 120 injuries in the past 2 seasons. I think that's just anybody who's out for maybe a game. It's a big thing with Spurs too, the retractable pitch theory, that this retractable pitch might be like MetLife Stadium claiming ACLs. But honestly, I was thinking about this weekend after Barca won. If I was Real Madrid, I might have thrown that game because what's worse, just Barca winning this week and then next week, whatever the game means, like less, yeah, right? Like it's just a Clásico, it's just pride, or Barcelona coming into your building next week, potentially not into your building. It would be at the Camp Nou, but Barcelona beating you to win the league. That just feels like that. Like you don't want that. I would just.
But
throw
why
the
would
game.
they throw it if they could do it this week anyway?
Because if you had drawn or lost to Espanyol, Barca would have won the league this past Sunday.
I read the Espanyol score wrong. I thought
my bad.
The way it was written, I thought,
yeah, you're right.
No, that's me. Where I was like, oh, Real Madrid lost to Espanyol. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's my point. Is
they should have thrown the game.
They should have just thrown the game
and taken
all the pressure off the game. Of now the only headline is just it's like El Clásico, and are Real Madrid going to give Barca a guard of honor, which they never do because they're a piece of shit. Which to be fair, I'm kind of okay with them doing that. I don't want my ops to like show me respect. You know what I mean? Like
no, not at all.
If not, it takes away from the rivalry, right? Like if Real Madrid won the league and they came to Barcelona, like and maybe this is just me like being biased, I honestly think Barcelona, like the players would do a guard of honor. I think the president would actually force them to. Real Madrid with dictator Mbappe, no shot they would do that. But again, I kind of fuck with that. But yeah, Barcelona are very close. What Hansi Flick has done with this team is ridiculous. And Fermín López scores again. The guy's got 30 goal contributions as a 10 that is rotated this year with Dani Olmo. And remember, Chelsea offered 30.
Fuck. I was about to say that. I was about to offer you a hypothetical, being like, if a team came in and said, do you want 30 mil for Fermín López? Would you accept it? And then we would joke around and laugh how Chelsea are idiots for offering that.
Only if they offered me LinkedIn Premium with it. I'm sure Liam would throw that in. But
no, they can't anymore. Liam's gone. They have no more LinkedIn sponsorship.
That's true. Well, now all these rumors are swirling. Just talking a little Barca ball, as we do on this pod. Barca has been linked with every striker that has like 15 goals this year. We've been linked with, of course, like Julian Alvarez, all the way. No, he's actually. We are okay on that. You guys keep.
He's the only one. He's the only one.
We actually have our own Gyökeres kind of player named Ferran Torres.
They're sitting there and they're like, Arsenal are like, huh? Hey, Barca, you've called about we're talking to some other teams, and they keep saying you're sniffing around 15-goal strikers. We have one if you want one. Barca, Laporta's like, no, we're good over here. We're good over here.
We'll run it back.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see, though, because again...
Great point, Alan. Great
what did
segment.
Owen say?
Let's do it.
What's really funny is last year, like, I fully bought in, and everyone knows, I fully bought into, like, the Bane celebration of the mask. And I was like, oh, my God, I would love for this guy to be a Barca. Like, he's fast, he's big. Like, that would be so sick. I'm good now. I'm actually also, Owen, I want to say, for those that are watching on the YouTube, Owen spelt his name exactly how you would in Swedish with the 2 dots over the O. Very good job, Owen. You're going to make us look very intelligent. We're not saying his name right.
Are we? Not at all. I have zero clue.
Can you try and say it?
I've Gyökeres.
Is that, Owen, do you want to phonetically type it for us? Good word, Ethan. Pronunciation. Let's see if I got this.
I do agree though.
Gyökeres. Okay, we're close.
It does really suck when a guy that you like in terms of his celebration or something like that, goes to your ops. It's the worst feeling ever because you're like, damn, now I have to like not like this guy. Like, for example, me personally, Haaland is a great before he went to
Look
City.
what Owen did. Owen put it phonetically for us. If you can, first off, if you can read that, terrific. Sorry, go on.
Gyökeres. No, Haaland was like, he had that sitting down, like, Buddha-esque
like meditation.
The hair, like, he's just a fiery competitor. You're like, man, I love this guy as a striker. Like, he's everything you want in a striker. And then he goes to City, and like every single time we play, him and Gabriel are like getting face to face. He's telling Arteta like, "Who are you?" and like ripping on Gabby Jesus, and you're just like, dude, come on. Like, I get it. Like, I actually really like that you're doing this, just not to my team.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if he was doing that to like Chelsea, I'd be like, fuck yeah, get in, Haaland. Like, you're awesome. But like, you're like, God damn, it's my team.
It's so frustrating. Like, and I think it happens a lot of times, especially like when you're playing career mode and there's a guy you sign. Like, for instance, like one this summer for me specifically was Nkapie. I have signed him in like 3 straight FIFAs for Spurs, because at one point we were playing 3 in the back. So I was like, this is a perfect left center back type of guy. And then I don't know, there was just like, I was like, oh, maybe he could be a rotation option with Van de Ven, all the stuff. And then this summer I saw we were linked to him, and I was like, oh my God, they're like, yes, I know what I'm doing with scouting. And then all of a sudden he went to Arsenal. I was like, fuck. The one guy I will say, and now we're just off topic, but it doesn't matter, Mickey Van de Ven was someone who, again, in FIFA, Spurs needed a left-footed left center back. And I went on my, my FIFA, and I started like looking up like tall left center backs. I was like, dude, this guy's sick. He's got like 84 potential. I think he was like a 75 maybe at that time, because it was like breakout year at Wolfsburg. But he had like 85 pace. I'm like, oh, this guy's sick. So I signed him, and I told people, I was like, I like this guy, Mickey Van de Ven. I hope we get linked. And all of a sudden we just sign him. And I was like, oh my God, another player for me like that. And again, now you just got me on a tangent. Yuri Tillemans. Loved Yuri Tillemans at Anderlecht. When I was doing a career mode, this was the year that Jack Grealish like got Aston Villa up to the Prem. I did an Aston Villa career mode because I'm like, oh, I love Jack Grealish, just so much fun. And the first signing I made was Yuri Tillemans. And then in real life they signed him, and I was like, holy fuck, I know ball. But yeah, it's always tricky, especially around transfer time, when you see someone you really like, a young prospect, go somewhere where you hate, and you're just like, and that's what happened with Chelsea. I loved Joel Hato. I thought he was like a stud. Went there. Trying to think. There's a couple other guys. Garnacho. Y'all can't see me, but I'm smirking. I don't like Garnacho. First off, Garnacho, by the way, years ago talking shit to Pedri. Fuck out of here. All right, Ellen DeGeneres. Anyway, it's like Ellen DeGeneres if she ate hot Cheetos. Anyway, let's move on to Sevilla.
That's so specific. That is so specific.
Am I wrong?
No, you're correct. But
I'm like totally on par right there.
Yeah, you're very on par.
Sevilla beat Sociedad 1-0. Sevilla remontada. Maybe they're going to stay up here. That was not on my bingo card.
They're now a point ahead of Deportivo Alves.
Yeah, Alaves sucks. I mean, like, I hate to say it that way, but like, Alaves are like if Burnley was competing against Spurs to stay up. Like, as much as you might be like, it would be so funny if they went down. You're like, please don't tell me like Burnley's going to stay up and Spurs and all their players are going to go down. Like this, you know what I mean? Because you just know they're going to drop again.
Yeah, I saw a video before the game. The game was played yesterday, but the video I saw was on Sunday of the captain of Sevilla literally getting off the bus where all the fans are and basically like smiling and laughing, being like, trust me, Sevilla's not going down. This club cannot go down. And I was
Phenomenal.
like, this is gonna feed families when they go down. And then they beat Sociedad, and I was like, they're staying up.
Let me tell you something. Sometimes in life, and my friends, Pucci obviously one of my friends, but those who have grown up with me and know me well, sometimes you really like you have to fake it till you make it. Like you have to have the most like delusional confidence in the world sometimes. And yes, people are like, oh, and again, this is what happens when you live in fear. And you're like, well, what happens if people clown me? But what happens if they don't? What happens if you're right? You know what I mean?
That's been me with Everton the past 3 weeks. I kept saying Everton to get a point, Everton to get a point.
And you know, one of my famous sayings is change your mindset, change your life. That's not necessarily saying,
you've been rocking that one forever, and that is one of my favorite sayings.
Okay, LeBron.
Like you used to tell people that. You used to tell people that in college. You used to tell people, "Hey, change your mindset, change your life."
Exactly.
And half the people that listen to you, their lives changed.
Yeah.
The other 100%. Half, they didn't try hard enough.
They didn't. Yeah, I have a lot of good sayings if anyone ever wants one, but no, sometimes you just have to completely convince yourself to be delusional. And I think that, and I'm not saying the Sevilla captain did that, but I think like you sometimes just have to say shit like that. Like we are not going down.
It also helps in terms of like when you arrive at the stadium, like, and like you've said that before the game, the fans are like, all right, like a little bit of confidence in the fans too, where it's like, it's not like, oh man, like we have to show up, we're going to boo the players. It's like, no, we got to get behind them. Like we got to really ride for them.
I think when you see, and this is something I hate, and again, I think we spoke about this like weeks ago when it comes to Spurs. Something I hate is when people are like, oh, you know, we should boo that. Like, I'm like, low key, and I get it because it's like, yeah, maybe sometimes players don't care. But I do think like if you're a captain of a club, like I don't want to see you go and stand by the away or the home end and get yelled at by the fans. It's like do something like that. Like come off the team bus and be like, we're gonna die for the badge. We need you guys to die with us.
Mm-hmm.
Say some shit like that, and I promise you, even if you lose, the fans are gonna clap you off the field because they're gonna go, you know what? Like you actually care. If you get relegated, but your fans like know you care and are working your tail off, and like it's just not your season, not your day, there's nothing you can do. But it's I think when you're hiding from it, that feels very much like they really don't give a shit. Like they don't care about us. I also think fans are very entitled, and I get it. It's like, oh, we pay their bills. I get it, but it's also like, relax. These people love footy more than you and I ever did. They've dedicated their life and literally put themselves through physical pain to do it. That being said, they're also compensated very nicely, so I get it. Like, you know, fans put themselves through a lot of emotional pain for them. But yeah, good for Sevilla. So Sevilla's run of fixtures. This weekend they have Espanyol. They then, in the midweek next week, take on Villarreal. They then follow up with Real Madrid, and then they play Celta Vigo. Espanyol, I think, could be a toss-up game. Espanyol is a strong team, but again, if Sevilla's playing the way they did, they just beat Sociedad, who beat Atleti in the Copa del Rey. Villarreal is an interesting one. So Villarreal is essentially, if I'm not mistaken, I need to look at the table. They are Villarreal are essentially guaranteed Champions League. So reports came out that Marcelino, their head coach, who they adore, he's a good head coach, other than like the Champions League issues this year, he's leaving the club at the end of the year. I wonder if they're still showing up fully. I don't know. So like maybe that's a result where Sevilla could get a draw, right? And again, this is us kind of just doing fan fictions. But then the Real Madrid game is another interesting one, because the Real Madrid game is a game where Real Madrid aren't playing for anything. It's the second to last game of the season, right? Like the season's done. Right? La Liga is most likely wrapped. Real Madrid, I'm assuming Mbappe's sitting because he doesn't want to get hurt right before the World Cup. I wonder if that's a game that, again, Sevilla steal points in because they're just like, we need this more than you. And then the Celta Vigo game at the end of the year is the tough one because Celta Vigo right now are in 6th, pushing for that Champions League spot. Sorry, they're in 5th. Atleti's in 4th. Celta Vigo's in 5th. Villarreal's in 3rd. So Celta Vigo are really pushing for Champions League. So it's a very, very interesting end of season run here. I think they could pick up some points, but like I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Madrid and like lose to Vigo, if that makes sense. Where most people would say like it would flip it, but this is the fun part of the season when you start really seeing like the full picture. The what? The run-in?
Yeah.
Let's jump into quick Serie A. Como draw Napoli 0-0. Frustrating because I mean, like, if we were ever in a title race, like if there was even a glimmer of hope, we're obviously out of it because Inter won the Scudetto this year.
Yeah,
they officially
won it this weekend. Yeah. So the title race is
over, unfortunately for us Comaneses. I didn't watch this game. Owen, do you want me to bring you back to talk about the game or no? He's backstage right now. He can just chat us or something. He wrote no. Okay, we're good. Okay. Let's move on. Roma beat Fiorentina 3-0.
We're now 1 point away from Champions League. We're 1 point behind Juventus, and we've jumped Como. So a real good performance from the boys. They're starting to come around at a good time.
Yep.
Defense seems to have shored up a bit. So that's a positive. My only worry is we have Lazio as one of our remaining games.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And Juve have Lecce, Fiorentina, and Torino.
Well, don't forget about Como.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had to go down the table a bit. Let me see.
Como have Hellas
Verona, Parma, and Cremonese.
We have 2 relegation sides.
You guys have the easiest run-in, but you guys are also 2 points behind us for 5th and 3 points behind Juve for 4th.
But we remember, when it comes to these like title races, things could change on a dime. You know that. You know what just happened with Arsenal City. So if you drop points against Parma,
this isn't a title race.
Everything to me right now is a title race. We're playing the final 3 games of our season like everyone's a title final.
Honestly, it's so funny to me because all 3 of your like big teams, they're all in a race, but different races. One's a relegation race, one's a title race, Barcelona, and then Como's in a Champions League race, Europe.
I told you, every game for me is like a final. Like every game means something.
Yeah. You just love all races.
I stand on that. I fully stand on. Do you stand on that?
Yeah, I do. I wish I had a team in a relegation fight. I just don't have a third team.
You could.
Nah.
Become a Wolves fan. You ever met a Wolves
fan?
God,
no.
I've never
I actually have.
I've never met a Wolves fan.
I met one in a bar in Ireland last summer.
Okay.
It was
so like I meant like, do you like know a Wolves fan? You meant like you've legitimately. I've probably met one person.
The term you used was met. So,
Understood.
Yes, I have met a Wolves fan. He was like 70-something years old, and
good guy.
He just wanted to talk footy with the boys. And we were like, "How's Molyneux?" And he was like, "A shithole." I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
You kind of want, if you're a club like Wolves, you don't want like the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You kind of want a shithole, right? Like you that brings some character. Yes.
You want a shithole where toilet works, probably.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real here. If he's saying that the Molyneux is a shithole, like the toilets are probably working there. They've been in the Prem a minute. We're not Rayo Vallecano. Let's talk about a shithole. They
may get Europa League next year,
which is nuts because they play on in a shithole. Their club is like almost bankrupt, and they play in a shithole. So like Wolves fans are saying, "Oh, it's a shithole." Yeah, compared to Spurs and Everton, probably, but like. Let's not also. I'm looking at the same. This place is not a shithole. It's actually quite nice.
I don't know. That's what the guy told me.
Is Wolverhampton a place? I'm assuming it is.
Yeah. It's right next to Brummie. It's right next to Birmingham. They're big rivals with West Brom. That's their number 1 rival, but then they're also rivals with Aston Villa and Birmingham.
Yes. Well, they're on the outside. Yeah, like you said, they're in the outskirts of Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
It's always interesting to me because I think we know where a lot of these teams play. Like I know Manchester is kind of like the north of the country, kind of like this, like center, exactly, right? Like Leeds is near
right
them.
Above Liverpool. No, Leeds is like northeastern, central.
Dude, I'm looking at a map right now, brother. They're like near each other. I mean, I'm calling this. I'm sharing my screen. I'm calling this near each other. You could tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, Leeds are in Yorkshire, which is a whole different, like, that's like a different county.
What do you say? See, like Leeds is here. You see my mouse? Is this big enough or no?
Yeah. Pause.
Manchester is literally in the same frame.
Okay. Do the
And then
miles. How far of
Liver-
a drive is it?
Good call. Directions. Oh, wait, that's Wolverhampton. We'll go Manchester, UK to what, Leeds?
Yeah.
Let's look real quick. It's a 57-minute drive, dude. It's a 15-hour walk.
For us, that would be fine, but a lot of people complain.
It's crazy. Like, that's not even the length of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Just it's so interesting to see where all these teams are. For those that
Where's
are like
Newcastle upon Tyne?
Tyne.
See, there's no international airport up there. Who's taking a flight all the way up there?
Literally, I just zoomed in and it says international airport. I've literally like accidentally
That's
zoomed
AI.
in.
That's AI. That's AI.
Dude, there's
Ethan.
even a double tree.
That's AI. There is no double trees.
Also,
in
Sunderland
England.
being in the north of the country sucks. Sunderland, like Southland. That's why I rock with Southampton, because they're actually in the south.
Well,
But-
Sunderland is derived from the Viking word of south,
That's
because
my
the
point,
Vikings
though.
came from the north. So when they
Right,
founded
right.
it, they thought it was the southernmost point. So they were like Sunderland.
What fucking idiot saying that's the southmost point? You see all the other land.
I have zero clue. I was just throwing something out there and you believed it.
Okay, but fair enough. Why would I argue that? You love books. All right.
And you
Let's-
love AI.
No, I don't. A little bit.
Yeah, you just showed me an AI map that
here we
Newcastle is
go.
an international airport.
Here we go. I'm a big data centers guy. Pooch, give me a championship update.
Dude, crazy. I actually woke up at 7:30 to watch these games. Honestly, kind of nuts. So Ipswich very early on just won second place, like immediate
Okay.
promotion.
I've seen that.
They-
And they were singing
yeah,
with Ed
they-
Sheeran in the locker room.
Yeah, they like scored like 10 minutes into the game and it was Raps against QPR. So at that point, I think Millwall ended up winning, and then Middlesbrough, I think, got word that like, hey, you don't have to like try because we're not getting second place. So they end up drawing Wrexham. So Wrexham, if you remember, needed a win. So if Derby won and Wrexham and Hull City drew and lost,
Okay.
Derby was going in. Derby was winning for about 60 minutes in the game, and the other two games were tied. So
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Holy shit!" Like Derby's going up. Derby's going up. They end up giving 2 goals away to Sheffield United to lose the game, and when that was happening, Hull City scored. So now Hull City
I
is a
love that.
point ahead of Wrexham. Wrexham's tied with Middlesbrough. Hull City's winning. Wrexham game ends 2-2. So Hull City, it's like 8 minutes of added time. All they need to do is hold on. And I forget who they were playing. It was like some mid-table club, but like that team just kept getting opportunities and opportunities. And like watching the game, you could feel like I had no dog in the fight and I was getting tense.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
dude, I was like, you guys got to pull this out. Like, come on, you got to hold on, because it's just wave after wave of attacks. And it was finally a corner kick that comes in, and like a guy heads it clear, and then one of his players just bombs it up the pitch, and they call the final whistle. All of the fans rush onto the field. They haven't even gotten
So
promoted.
funny.
They're just in the
Yeah.
playoff. Like
yeah.
they just made the playoff, and all of the fans run onto the field. So yeah, Hull City got that last spot. The playoffs, I want to say, are this weekend. Let me just double check and make sure.
I know the final is May 23rd.
Friday. Yeah, Friday is game 1. So I believe it's 2 legs. It is.
Okay.
So it's 2 legs,
love that.
and they're 3 days after each other, each one.
Okay.
So the first one, Friday, it would be, I believe, 10 a.m. our time or something like that. Or no,
Okay.
3 p.m. Hull versus Millwall on Friday. And then on Saturday, it is Middlesbrough, Southampton. Now, the cool part about the playoffs is the semi-final round, which we're in, are played on the home grounds, not Wembley. So you'll get to see like the home field advantage really play a factor in both. I know I'm excited for it being at the Den, Millwall Stadium, because that is like the quintessential English stadium.
Yep.
So just seeing all those fans who are notoriously like probably the biggest hooligans in England, just like we may have a chance to go to the Prem. And honestly, if West Ham get relegated, I really hope Millwall don't go up, because I just want to see those two teams play each other, whether it's the championship or the Prem. If West Ham stay up somehow, I want Millwall up. So I'm in a tough spot mentally with Millwall right now.
You know what's funny is, as we're talking about this, like you're mentioning Wrexham. Obviously, you don't like Wrexham. A couple of things. Number one is I don't want Wrexham in the Prem, because then it's going to feel very Ted Lasso. Every single week is going to be a special on it. It's going to be annoying. I like that.
You're finally coming around. Ethan.
I like the
now
idea
you get
of
what
Wrexham.
I've been saying.
I'm good with Wrexham in the lower leagues, like in like the championship, because it's like a fun story, whatever.
Yes.
That being said, I also kind of like Millwall always being like the big fish in the small pond, like in the smaller, like in the championship. You know what I mean? Like everyone hates them. Like they're kind of grimy. You know what I mean? Like they're like
no. They are the, like, because the championship is the quintessential English league.
That's my point.
Like,
I don't want them coming
like
up. Yes.
Like those are the best teams that have like the most hardcore fans. None of it is commercialized. Like you're playing like Preston North End, who's still at their stadium from like the 1800s.
Exactly.
I agree with what you're saying, where like a Millwall, it's like they're so classic English. I don't want them in the Prem. But at the same time, to see them play West Ham again, I just want that so bad.
100%. Don't get me wrong. Like we need that, but I almost want that like in an FA Cup. Give me an FA Cup like knockout game. You know what I mean? Because then I get like the best of both. Don't get me wrong. At this point, I feel like I need West Ham to go down. That's the team I want to go down. Actually, that's not even true. I want Nottingham to go down.
Yeah.
Mr. Marinakis needs to just go and eat shit down there. But if we're talking about it, obviously I'm in a spot where I'd rather watch West Ham Millwall in the championship versus in the Prem. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was like that with obviously Sunderland, Newcastle, right? Like you want to see them play against each other, shit like that.
But at least Sunderland has some Premier League experience, where you're sitting there and you're like, they were in the Premier League like for about 2 decades, and then they just like financially fell out. Like so
like
that
Millwall,
at least has some Prem. Yeah.
Here's my thoughts about Millwall here. If Millwall make it into the Prem, like they're going to start signing international players. They're going to like have to play like a pragmatic style. Like they're not going to survive playing like 4-4-2, and you know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure their fans would say we want to watch beautiful football, but it's also like, no, you don't.
Wouldn't.
No, like none of us want you to play that. You know what I mean? Like I want you guys to just play like, I want you to have like a bunch of English dudes who you feel like if you like met out at the pub would like have a few too many and like punch you in the face. I don't want you to go and sign some like French, under 21 like star kid
aristocrat.
Yeah, don't give me that. And also like I don't want Millwall. Don't put Millwall in like Europa League if they have a good year. You know what I mean? Like if
they can't get Europe. Like that should be the one rule. They should be like, listen, you guys could win the league, you guys can win the FA Cup, all of that.
Yeah,
you guys could
Europe.
Finish top 6, but you're not going to Europe. We're not sending you guys
English.
Abroad. Yeah, we're not sending you guys abroad.
See, I'm with that.
If they get sent abroad, it immediately just becomes the 1980s again.
It's going to be horrible. I'm totally with you. But good stuff. I appreciate the championship recap there. Again, this is like the best time of the season. For those who have people that maybe are not the biggest footy.
We have to rank the times of the season, because for me personally, it's between this and then that moment when like the training camps start picking up in the summer, where you're like, dude, it's right around the corner.
I think
like those the first few games.
I don't want we're not going to do it right now, but you know what? We'll leave it as a segment. This will be a fun, or maybe like a social media clip. We'll do something like that.
We'll clip,
because I think there's a lot of different moments. Like you said, like I was just thinking like start, middle, end, but there is a lot more to that. There is right after an international break. There is right after the transfer window closes. Like the first game after everyone has like their actual rosters.
The holiday festivities where you're like
Boxing Day,
Christmas.
The final day. All right. Well, that'll be a really good segment. We can definitely do that. Let's jump into a preview. We have a big Champions League semi-final league too. We will figure out who our Champions League final will be. Sponsored by Heineken. Heineken, by the way, I'm a Heineken supporter. I enjoy a good Heineken. I know a lot of people hate it, and I understand why. Like I do. I feel like they are a very good sponsor, Champions League. I like their ads.
Dude, the best.
I will say sometimes the ads get a little old because like they have so many Champions League has so many games, they just keep rerunning them. But like they do good ads. I don't know. That's my view. Real
I'm
quick
pretty
here.
sure they're out after this year as the sponsor for Champions League.
Who's going to take it over?
I think it's like a US based company.
See, ruined it, soiled it. What was cool as you looked that up? So when I went to Amsterdam, I made a big deal to go to the Heineken factory, and part of their like factory tour is they have a whole room just dedicated to Champions League. They have jerseys, they have soccer balls, they have like old ads, they have games, and like super cool. So you're walking through and like they embrace the Champions League. It's like almost part of their brand, which I like.
Oh, jeez.
No.
I found it.
Who is it?
Anheuser-Busch. So like Budweiser, Bud Light, etc. They are going to become the official Champions League beer sponsor starting 2027. This change ends Heineken's 30-year partnership.
Fuck, that sucks.
Anheuser-Busch is expected to secure a 6-year deal worth close to 200 million euros per season, covering all of the men's competitions until 2033.
Fuck. I mean, listen, yeah, it's great. Like I love a good Bud Heavy.
Heineken's previous deal, 120 million euros per year.
It is a really good thing that this wasn't like the first year that they did Budweiser and like Bud Light, because you'd have a ton of Europeans coming to the US like, oh, let me have a Bud Light. And listen, like Bud Light's kind of back. Shane Gillis has brought it back. If you're drinking a Bud Light in like Austin, Texas, well, Austin probably is okay, but Dallas, Texas, like for the World Cup, and you're asking bartenders for a Bud Light, they're gonna be like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" Yeah, we don't drink that down here.
All the torta bartenders are gonna be like, "Have you ever had a Modelo?"
That's true. Well, that's another good segment. What are Europeans going to be the most surprised about when it comes to the World Cup? Like U.S. culture, because like I'm sure like so when they come to New York, of course they're going to have a slice of pizza. Like, but like what's like the little things they're not going to know? And I know again, like you can't walk to the stadiums 100%, but like the little things that they're going to be introduced to.
I think they're going to really enjoy gun ranges.
Yeah, that's going to be a serious problem. Yeah, serious problem.
I think they're going to really enjoy.
Thank God the Irish didn't make it, because.
Yeah, because there will be so many Americans that'll be like, "You want to shoot a gun? Yeah, sure. This will be fun." And then like Europeans are just going to be like, "This is awesome."
It's going to be nuts. You know what it's going to be like? There's two things. One, it's going to be nuts how many people are trying to bring a gun back to Europe, and then they're like, "No, like you cannot do that." And they're like, "Oh." Number two is back when one of our buddies has a, I guess you'd call it like a hunting house out in like Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania. And I remember the first time we went out there, and like it's Pennsylvania, but like you might as well be in like Alabama, like the boonies, right? It's like the same vibes. There's a little restaurant called the Little Red Schoolhouse, and we're like, it's the only spot. So like we had enough eating like hot dogs and hamburgers. We're like, all right, let's just go get something else, and we need a little AC. So we go out there, we walk in, and again, listen, at the end of the day, like I don't think that we do anything that's too out of the ordinary, but this is the type of place that everyone's tucking their shirt in. You know, they're wearing flannels, they're wearing trucker hats, not like a New York Yankees like fitted, right? So we walk in and listen, we're just like kind of quietly there. There's like 6 of us. And the amount of pistols on people's hips caught me off guard. I was like, whoa. And I was like, and they did not give me a look that they liked me. I was like, fuck. It's like, fuck, this is bad. Since then, we've gone back many times. They're great people. Awesome salad bar out there at the Red Schoolhouse. There is a lobster on the sign for Red Schoolhouse. Don't order the lobster. First off, there's no lobster on the menu. Don't order the fish. You're in the boonies. There is nowhere to get fish. But yeah, let's move back into the Champions League semifinals. First off, today we have Arsenal versus Atleti 1-1 over in London at the Emirates. Pucc'S is obviously your team, your game. Talk to me. What are we feeling?
Feeling Arsenal win PKs.
In a PK shootout. Okay. Do you think, like, does this go, is there scoring in the game? Like, what do you think?
I think Atletico is going to do exactly what Arsenal did, where the first 20 minutes, they're going to let Arsenal run rampage over them and basically be like, hey, just sit back. Let's just get through the first 20 and then we can try and play a bit. I literally think that's how it's going to be. I think both teams will find a goal at some point. The game feels very much like how it went first leg, where it's like Arsenal will score first and then Atleti will score at some point.
Okay.
But I think it ends 1-1 and then both teams kind of feel like gentleman's agreement and let's go to PKs and extra time.
That would be kind of sick. I'm not going to lie. That'd be so awesome.
Like that's how I feel it's going to end up going. I think Arsenal are going to have as close to a full deck as they can injury wise. I think the only person I heard that may still be, or the only two people that I heard may still be out are Timber and Marino. But Havertz, I think, will at least be on the bench, and then Odegaard too will be
Okay.
playing in some form. My ideal lineup would probably be Eze off the left, and then Odegaard at the 10, and then Saka off the right. But we'll see if Odegaard has it in him. I don't know how hurt he is, but
I'm taking a look right now at the betting lines. I don't really care who wins the game. I'm not even going to put a bet on that because I feel like one way or another I'm just going to hurt myself. Not like the way Pep does, but oh wow, okay. It's never good. So first off, to know that I haven't bet in a while, FanDuel, I had to re-download it. Secondly, though, as I re-logged in, it just said, just so you know, you have hit a certain limit of deposits, so you have to make sure you read this message and confirm you've read it. That does not feel good. Felt great when I realized I hadn't bet in a while. Felt horrible getting that. The reason I'm opening this up is I'm just going straight to goal scorer, and I'm going to find Molina because my man is calibrating. Another highlight, another Molina piss missile has hit a fan. This dude is just letting him rip. He's still letting him rip, and I feel like he's calibrating for the big moment. Let's see how far down. He's plus 900 for a golazo. Let me throw a cheeky tenner on that. I don't know if I have money. Yep, tenner's in. Tenner's in.
I could see either.
Well, I got money in here. I got $150 to work with.
I could see Lookman or Eze scoring a goal.
Okay. Lookman? Is he going to get... Oh, I'm sorry. You said Lookman. The first guy that hit my head was Dowman. I'm like, oh my God. Holy glaze. It's like, he's not going to get in this game. I mean, maybe, but...
No, he probably won't. You're right.
Lookman is a good bet. If we're talking real bets here, and I'm not going to go through the odds, but if we're talking real bets, I think Lookman probably scores on a counter. I think this game, at least there's a goal for each team. Add up the corners. It's going to be a shit ton of if the corners are like, I don't know what's normal for corners betting. I've never bet that. It just pisses me off. If it's over 9.5, I would take over 9.5. I think there's going to be a shit ton of corners, and I would take the over on cards, whatever the cards are. I don't think there's going to be a red. Dude, Atleti are going to kick the shit out of you guys.
Okay, I was going to say we don't really normally, knock on wood, get a ton of cards.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, really, the over on cards? But I could see Atleti being.
Atleti, I'm telling you right now, and this is somebody who has played Atleti a million times. I've played them up in games. I've played them down. Atleti do one thing, and it's like they are going to make your life hell to score. And they're also like, they are the kings of just like what would you call it? I don't want to say like dark arts, but like they're not going to give you a one-on-one. They're going to pull you down. You know, like shit like that. Like they will pull you down. They will like, they're going to make you, if you're going to score, it has to be again, like, honestly, like off a corner, off a cross, off build up, like you're not going to get a counterattack against them. They're okay taking cards. They're okay doing all that shit. That's like Diego Simeone, like masterclass. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I guess my prediction, I kind of like yours with a shootout. I do think probably it'll end obviously with a goal. If you ask me to predict the game itself, just this leg, I think 2-1 Arsenal. I think you guys, I could just see it like if game goes to extra time, someone finding a goal. But I do think both teams are going to score. Obviously, I just put a Molina goal scorer bet down. And if he scores, it's going to be a piss missile. I wish I could bet on that. I wish it was Molina piss missile. But yeah, let's move over to the other side of the coin. Bayern versus PSG. So PSG will be going to Munich. PSG are currently leading 5-4 on aggregate. My initial prediction of this game, not as much scoring. It just can't be. I think there's going to be a huge focus on defense. That being said, there's still going to be goals. I don't think either team is solid enough defensively to prevent goals per se.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be a game that Harry Kane is going to. I think not that he's going to pick PSG apart, but I think it's going to be like he seems, other than sometimes for England, he's done decent in some big games, especially for Bayern. I think maybe he doesn't score. No, he's going to get on the score sheet. He always finds his name. I think he's just going to drop deep. He's going to be playing balls all over the park. Give me, for the leg itself, I want to take Bayern 2-1 over PSG, but again, I feel like that's too low. Like I almost feel like I have to go like 3-2 or 3-1. But again, I don't know. I don't know how to predict this game. I kind of don't want to. I kind of just want to enjoy. I don't want to feel like tied to a prediction. I do want Bayern to go through, which is crazy because I hate Bayern. But I want Harry Kane to win the Champions League. That would make me very happy. And maybe he'd come back to Tottenham.
Sounds like you're just sitting on the fence, man. A guy like me would never do that.
You know, you're right. I'm taking Bayern 3-1 over PSG.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me who I am.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, change your mindset, change your
Change your
life.
life.
PSG 3-2 for me.
Okay.
I think we discussed it last week where it was like I could see this game being like 3-1 PSG and then Bayern scoring like in like the 88th and the last 7 minutes kind of being hectic and hellish.
Yep.
But I just think PSG, if I had to look, the main thing for me is looking at the defenses because I think both teams' offenses cancel each other out. And I just think PSG have the better defense.
The
I think
fullbacks definitely
there's
change a lot.
not only the fullbacks, but Pacho, I really enjoy watching, and
Yep.
Marquinhos is such a legend. And who's the it's Upamecano and Ta. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't really excite me as
I'm with
like
you
a
there.
center back pairing.
I'm with
So
you there.
I think that's where I have to look. Also, the midfield I think cancels each other out. Like basically the front, what is it? 7 of each
Yeah.
team just cancels each other out. You know that
Right.
they're all so good at what they do. The defenses are the weak points of both of these teams. And I just think that PSG's defense is better than
The big key
Bayern's.
factor here that we didn't talk about in the last game that I think is something almost more important than the players is the managers. I know Vincent Kompany gets a lot of praise. I know he's done incredible with Bayern, but I
Yes.
also I really like, first off, Lucho Enrique is a different level. Like you could argue he's like entering the realm of your Pep Guardiola's, and I get no one's in his realm, but you know what I mean? Like he's entering like the tactical realm of that and the fact that he's innovating the game. Whereas Kompany, I think, is a good manager, but like I don't really know what he's doing tactically. Like when you play in a league the way that Bayern do, and Connor W is not going to like this, but when you play in a league like Bayern do, where again at the end of the day you do have some good teams, I think it gets underrated sometimes. Like Harry Kane, I've seen a lot of things. Like he just plays like a free role, like more than a false nine. He plays anywhere he wants. I don't know how much that is tactically versus them being like, yeah, like just go pick up the ball. We're going to dominate the game anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like Lucho has got like Ousmane Dembele pressing his mind out. He's got Kvaratskhelia. He's the one that kind of created this like with his fullbacks, right? He has Nuno Mensch playing as like not just an inverted fullback, but like he's playing as like another forward, right? Like he's really innovating in that way that you've never seen. I think both teams have great players. I think Lucho probably gives at the end of the day PSG a bit more of an advantage because he can adapt. But Bayern at home, I think Bayern are going to hold a lot of possession. I think PSG are going to obviously try and get them off of that. I think PSG are okay playing on the counterattack, though, honestly. I think they almost prefer because it gives them more space for their front three to really attack. Whereas Bayern, I think Bayern are going to want to hold possession, control the game as much as possible. As again, especially being at home, like just control it, try and see it through, be very structured. And I think at some point that might make it tricky. But it also, if PSG decides to sit in, and I don't know. I'm kind of going both ways on it because as I'm talking, I'm like, well, maybe PSG then catches them on the counterattack.
Yeah, you're by with it. It's all good.
I don't think that's the right term for it. Buy with it.
Yes, you're going both ways. You're by with it. You're by with it.
I'm fully by with it. No, I am going to stand behind Bayern here, especially because you took PSG. Just have a little fun. But this is a game I don't want to make a prediction. As a neutral, it's like I just want to sit back and like not be tied to anything. You know what I mean? Just like let it happen. I'm also going to be working, so I won't be watching.
Let it all work out.
You know what's funny is both these games, again, I'm working until 8:30. I work at 3 till 8:30. So it's like I'm going to see my phone blow up. I'm going to check my phone at 8:30 and be like, oh, okay. And then I have to go watch the highlights by myself and talk to nobody about it because no one answers my text at night. Yeah, one more big game this week. Europa League semifinal, League 2, Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest. Forest are up 1-0 on Villa. Yeah, I'm not watching this, to be clear. Give me Villa. I think Villa do the remontada.
I mean, Morgan Gibbs White just turned into Scarface.
Yeah, he just died. I also think, but Forest doing good. Fuck. Give me Villa.
Forest.
I think Villa have all eyes on this. They know that they're Prem season. There's nothing to play for. And I think they know if I win this, or if we get to the championship of this and like win it, we could just get in the Champions League. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what happens in the Prem.
I think that they already have made the Champions League.
Is that confirmed?
I mean, not mathematically, but it's like one of those where it's like, just like how mathematically Leeds can probably still go down. They're just not going to. They're on 58.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
52. So it's
there's 3 games left, though.
Yeah, but it feels like a comfortable position for them.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Just get a result in one of the games.
And I think they know that, hey, we have a chance to win an actual trophy.
Correct.
Trust me, like getting in through 5th place would be fun and great or
Yeah.
whatever. But like you want to at least it's like you want to get the trophy that goes along with it.
Yeah.
And they know that once they get past Forest, whoever they play, Braga or Freiburg, they're winning that game.
You'd hope.
Yeah. So I think that Villa completes their remontada. I could see it being like 2-0 Villa.
Okay.
Thank you, Owen. Honestly, I think Braga wins. I don't know. I haven't watched either one of these two teams.
Yeah, we're not talking about this game, Owen. Thank you. For shout out Braga. I think Braga wins too.
Yeah, Braga, sure. I don't care. Like if we're being honest, I don't care who wins that game.
We don't want to start bragging if we get it right. But okay, anyway, quick question about Aston Villa. Emi Martinez was saying goodbye to the fans. They don't even have another goalie on the roster. Like that would have started.
He does it every year, man. He does it every year.
But weren't they pushing him out? This one I'm confused. They were pushing him out.
They push him out every year. It's Unai Emery doing his bullshit stuff. No, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I could care less about Emi Martinez. He's the most overrated goalkeeper probably of all time. Had one really, really good game.
You just mad they never played for Arsenal like this?
He did play for Arsenal like this.
He was this good for Arsenal?
Yeah. For like 1 year.
Interesting.
No, it more so comes down to like I've seen this song and dance for the past 3 years. I'm over it. Where he's like clapping to the fans, and it's like, dude, you're probably just gonna come back again next year anyway. Well, if we're being honest.
I guess my confusion is I remember this offseason or whenever he did it, maybe at the end of last season, the whole thing was that Aston Villa was pushing him out. He didn't want to leave, right? I know what you're saying, like they always do this, but I kind of, and like I didn't know who the player was, but I thought they had signed a goalie to like be the starter. And when he came back, when he had no offers, I thought it was more like he's just going to be the backup. I didn't realize they literally don't have anybody. Like, I don't know.
No, they did sign a goalie who played because it was like, it's that famous clip of Unai Emery after the game. They're like asking him questions about it, and he just kept going, Bizot.
Oh, I see this guy on the roster. Okay. I didn't know if he was good or not.
Marco Bizot.
He's 34.
I know. 2 years ago, though, when you were mentioning like the club was pushing him out last offseason, 2 years ago, he was pushing to leave.
Right, which makes I understand
clapping the fans, and he was like, I'm leaving.
Interesting.
And then he just stayed. And then this offseason, the club was like, you're leaving. And then he just stayed. So you want to know what? I don't care where he goes. I don't care what he does. I hope he has a long, prosperous life and his family is healthy and happy and all of that. I just could care less about what he does, where he goes.
Totally understand. Interesting too. Like Argentina have never had good goalies. Do you remember back when Romero, who was the United backup, was like their starter? Which whatever, it is what it is. But it's just so funny. It's like this is a country that has always had top tier talent, and they've never had a goalie worth of note. You know what I mean? Like I guess Martinez again is probably he's probably the best they've ever had. As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I feel like every national team always has that one like good national team. Always has that one position where you're like, we just never get it right. So for like, I'm thinking Spain never gets the striker position right.
Yes and no. Raul, Fernando Torres, David Villa.
Yeah, but like
Fernando Morientes.
I guess, but like
I know you mean they've never had like the best in the world.
Like
maybe
when they
Raul
won it.
1 year.
Like when they won it, like Fernando Torres, I don't think was at the top of his game, was he?
That was kind of so. What's funny is growing up, Fernando Torres was my favorite player in the world. And again, like I also love Messi, but I loved Fernando Torres because what he did for the Spanish national team. But I was looking him up because my view of David Villa was always like he was terrific too. David Villa was significantly better than Fernando Torres was at those tournaments. Now,
but he wasn't a classic 9. Like he played that false 9, which is perfect for Spain.
Villa did, right?
Yeah.
Torres was more of like a proper.
That's why I'm saying like you're like even the Spain team now. Like who are you guys going to throw out there? Alberto Morata as your starting striker?
No, it's Ferran Torres. It's Ferran Torres. It's the starting 9.
Still though, it's not.
It's not. I agree.
And like Brazil reminds me of like they never really have a center back. Like you could point to like Thiago Silva, but like
no, Brazil has center backs.
Who besides Thiago Silva?
What was the Lucio? Right, wasn't he good during those runs?
Lucio.
I don't know. Well, if you said Brazil, I was almost going to say center midfielder. They've had decent ones, but like, have they had like true stars, like proper central midfielders?
I mean, Socrates played there.
Okay.
I think you could point to
This is one of
other
those things that
guys
people are just going to
like
rip us.
Casemiro. Like Casemiro is a legend of the game. Like
Yeah, but I'm talking like
the
a
Man
proper
United shit. The Man United shit has kind of ruined that. But like at his peak, he was crazy good.
Dude, first off, you're saying Brazil don't really have a good center back, right?
Yeah, tell me who they are.
So in their history, like I looked it up, right? The elite historical veteran center backs is Thiago Silva, Lucio. What about right now? Like, do they have a good one?
Marquinhos, Gabriel, but like I wouldn't count
it's funny
them
because
as
I was gonna rip you for the Gabriel. I was gonna be like, you're not even ranking your guy.
No, because I'm talking like legends of the game, like like historically,
Yes.
like what you mentioned, like with Argentina where it's a goalie. Like growing up, it's always like Argentina have Messi, they have Di Maria, they have Higuain,
Right.
they have good midfielders. They had like Marcus Rojo, Otamendi at his prime, and then it's like in net like the Man U backup keeper Romero. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like how can a team this good have just not developed that one position? I mean, and like the Dutch too, like historically, like I guess not historically because they had Van Persie, and
Cruyff.
Cruyff. I was gonna say striker for them, but that's more recent times where they just can't get the striker position.
They have
correct.
Memphis Depay, and they had Luke de Jong. Trust in Luke de Jong.
Crazy good.
No, Netherlands is a tough one to say because I feel like they do. If we're talking historically, like almost every position they've been good at.
Yeah.
Like,
just not at the same time.
Italy is probably someone to talk about with the 9 because I know at some point you had like Baggio. At another point you had his name's slipping my mind.
Totti.
I mean, like Totti too, but like again, like those weren't
Paolo
proper
Rossi?
9s. Right, guys that aren't really like proper 9s. They kind of play more like a 10. You know, like yes, they're like a true center forward. I don't know. We could do this for hours with different teams.
No, we could literally go through like the Indonesian national team.
They unfortunately don't have anybody. Unfortunately,
but I think our whole point is just that, or my point is just that, like it is funny to like look at like how some of these like super talented, like superstar teams. Just like it's just always one position group where you're like, how do you have
how you've never developed this?
How do you have like 10 guys that are the stars, like top 5 in their position in the world, and then one guy who's like the third string at like his club, who's like mid-table in their league? Like
it's very funny.
Nuts.
Owen fell asleep. I brought him back. Oh, he woke up. Hey, yo.
I'm reading. Sorry.
Oh. That's good. Good producer work.
No, like it's like notes.
Thank you, Owen. He's taking notes on what we're talking about. He is Owen's honestly our biggest fan. He's writing notes on the episode because he's like, this is such good content. And he also loves when we just start talking about national teams and just saying names. That's probably Owen's favorite segment. We could have done the Mexican national.
Crazy is I've been asking you guys to do a segment about like we should go through, talk about the teams that have debatable starting 11s. And make those starting 11s. Instead, you guys just don't do that, and you'd rather talk about random players on random teams at random times. That's fine.
You know, Owen is right. He's been like, hey, if you're going to do this, could we just do it as an actual segment instead of you guys just rambling after you talk about PSG and you start talking about Marquinhos' legacy? We will do that. We're going to do that as we get closer to the World Cup. We right now, we're obviously prioritizing the club season. But that being said, it's been a good episode here. I thought it was going to be a quick one. It was honestly a decent length one. But Pooch, you got anything left for the fans?
Subscribe to the YouTube. We're trying to grow the YouTube. We're going to be posting clips on there along with TikTok and Instagram to kind of go along with that. And then if you want to look at our beautiful faces on screen, just pop us on the YouTube. And then we're going to try and figure out more just fun little videos to add to the YouTube. So yeah, definitely 100%. Trying to grow that along with the TikTok and Instagram. So if you don't follow the YouTube, follow the YouTube.
Yeah, 100%. Good stuff there, Pooch. Oh, and anything for the fans before we go?
Go Timberwolves. Let's go.
You know, I'm fucking with the Go T-Wolves. Well, they're playing the Spurs. They're playing Wemby right now. Edwards is my guy, though. Yeah, Knicks right now are beating the shit out of the Sixers. So for Andre Harubi, who's probably listening at this point, sorry, pal. But that being said, class is permanent. Form is temporary. Enjoy the Champions League games. We will see you guys on Friday. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Peace.